environments, cloud environment. In the cloud again SaaS model and PaaS model and on-premises. What are different roles we have? And this, I think I have not shared this video yesterday session. I'll share it today. Both the sessions I'll share. Please drop your email IDs on the chat window so that I can share directly videos to you. Okay, fine. Now we are going to talk about the HCM, Human Capital Management, okay, Global HR, Payroll, Options Management, Talent Management, okay. So before we start with Fusion applications, okay, something we have to talk about here. In Fusion applications, we will have the offerings, features, task list, and task. This is the terminology we'll find in Fusion applications. What is meant by offerings? What is meant by offerings? Offerings are nothing but a domains. Offerings are nothing but a domains. Let's say financials. Okay. Financials offerings, HCM offerings, SCM offerings, CRM offerings, like that. So offerings are nothing but a domains. Offerings are nothing but domains. Within the offerings, we will find the features. Within the offerings, we'll find the features. When we say HCM is one of the offering, HCM is one of the offering, then within the HCM, we'll find global HR is one of the feature, payroll or payroll cloud or global payroll, all are same. We call it as either payroll or payroll cloud or global payroll. So all are same. So we can call it in any method, but environment will be different. Payroll cloud means it's a cloud environment, and global payroll means we can run the payroll for multiple countries, and just payroll means it can be executed only for one particular legislation. Okay, so like that we can call it. Then options management is one of the feature, and talent management is one of the feature. Like that we will find the features. We call it as a domains also. Features are nothing but a domains. Sorry, offerings are nothing but domains, and features are nothing but modules. We can call it as modules also. Okay. So HCM is one of the offering given by Oracle. In HCM, there are number of features, around 10 to 15 features we have. Compensation, benefits, time and labor, network at work, profile management, goal management, talent review, succession management, like that. There are number of features. Okay, so these are offerings, these are features. In the every feature there will be a task list. It's nothing but a menu. Task list, we call it as a menu. Task list is nothing but a group of tasks. Task list is nothing but group of tasks. Task list is nothing but a group of tasks. Okay, so here task list is nothing but, we call it as a menu also. It's a group of tasks. If I go to global HR, there will be a tasks like that. What are the different? Create location, create job, create position, hire employee, transfer employee, terminate employee, assign employee, like that. These all are tasks. Whenever we group some tasks, it will become as a task list. Whenever we group some tasks, it will become as a task list. It will become as a task list. Okay. So in every feature, there will be a task list. Every task list will have the tasks. Create a location is a task. Create a job is a task. Okay. So this we call it as task, nothing but a form. Nothing but a form. Task is nothing but a form. Okay. So this is the terminology we are going to use in Fusion applications before we start working with the applications. Okay. So first we'll find offerings, nothing but a domains, different domains. Within the offerings, we will find the features, nothing but a modules, nothing but a modules. Within the module, we will find the menu, nothing but a task list, like this. We'll find the task list. Within the task list, we will find the tasks. Within the task list, we will find the tasks, nothing but a forms, nothing but a forms. Each task is one form. We'll open the task and enter the transaction. Transaction is nothing but a record. Transaction is nothing but a record. Okay. So this all about the terminology of the Fusion applications when we start in the initial stage. When we start in the initial stage. Okay. Any doubts here? Vanita, Navya, and Joy, Patel, Ek. Good. If you have any doubts, please chat with me so that we can have a session discussion on that. Thank you. Okay. Fine. Now we'll connect to Fusion applications. Now we'll connect to the Fusion applications. Connect to the server, Fusion applications server. This is the application environment we are going to connect. Okay. So let's give the username and password. Click sign in. Once we log into applications, we'll find the home page. This is welcome to the user, welcome home page. Any work lists are there, that will find here. Any activity stream is there, that also will find here. Any watch list is there, that also will find. This all will discuss later one by one. This all will be talking about this later. Now we'll go to the username, click here, go to setup and maintenance. Go to setup and maintenance. Go to setup and maintenance. Whenever we go to setup and maintenance, here, go to the getting started. Go to getting started. When we select this getting started, here we will find all the offerings. Here we'll find all the offerings. Whatever the offerings are given by Oracle to the clients, that will find financials, order management, material management, marketing, Fusion accounting hub, procurement, product management, sales, okay, workforce development, deployment, supply chain managerial accounting, like that we'll find all the offerings which we have installed in these applications. Okay. So, but I could not find anywhere HCM, right? Human capital management, I am not able to find anywhere here. But workforce deployment and workforce development, these two combination, we call it as HCM, human capital management. Workforce deployment, workforce development. These two offerings, we call it as HCM, Human Capital Management. These two things we call it as HCM, Human Capital Management. Okay. Now HCM offering is nothing but a workforce deployment and workforce development. These two offerings. When we combine these two offerings, it's nothing but a HCM, Human Capital Management. Human Capital Management. So workforce deployment, workforce development. Okay. Then workforce deployment means what are the modules? What are the modules comes? Modules are features. What are the modules or features comes under deployment? We'll get global HR, or we call it as a core HR also. What is the purpose of this particular feature or module? This feature is used to implement the complete organization structure. Organization structure means how many legal entities the client is having, how many business units, nothing but a branches, how many locations, what are different jobs, different positions, different grades, and the hierarchy of the organization. Hierarchy means approval hierarchies. This all we will define in the global HR. This all will define in the global HR. We call it as a core HR also. We call it as a core HR also. Next, payroll. Payroll is used to run the payroll for employees. This feature is to run the payroll for an employees and generate the pay slip and dispatch the salaries. This all will be using. That is a payroll module or payroll feature. Absence management. Absence management is another feature which is used to maintain the employee absences. Nothing but leaves, employee accruals and employee absence plans, and what are the balances are there in absence management, that we'll discuss in this particular feature. Next, under workforce under workforce development, we'll talk about performance management, goal management, goal management, talent review, succession management, profile management, time and labor, compensation, benefits. These are other modules we'll find within this workforce development. Workforce development. So these are the modules we'll find. Modules are features under workforce deployment. These are the modules we'll find under workforce development. Okay. So now we'll be covering complete these three modules in our training, and also these modules, this complete suite, we call it as talent management. This complete suite, we call it as a talent management. Performance, goal, talent review, succession management, profile management. When we combine all this, it will become as a complete talent management cycle. Complete talent management cycle. Okay. So this is HCM is nothing but combination of two offerings: workforce deployment, workforce development. In workforce deployment feature, we have the global HR, payroll, absence management. We have other features also, individual compensation like this, but those are not big features. It's mainly three. Workforce development means these are the features, nothing but these are the modules. Okay, so that's we can see here. So whenever we log into the applications, Fusion applications, I'll just show you again how to connect to the application. So connect to remote desktop. Sign in. Go to username, setup and maintenance. Setup and maintenance. Go to getting started. Go to getting started. Then we'll come to know what are the offerings are installed in this particular server or in this particular cloud. Okay, so these are the offerings are available in this particular environment. Here is a HCM, workforce deployment, workforce development. This two. Okay, fine. Now we'll talk about something called implementation project. What is meant by implementation project? Whenever we are implementing this Fusion applications to the client, we need to create an implementation project. Within that, we will include the offerings and features, whatever we want to implement to the client. For example, client want to implement these two modules for their business requirement to maintain their organization as well as to maintain their employee salaries. Nothing but a payroll, monthly payroll, weekly payroll, bi-monthly payroll, bi-weekly payroll, like that. Whenever client would like to maintain their employees and employee salaries, these two features we are going to implement. So whenever we want to implement features, we have to go for create an implementation project. So what is implementation project? Group of offerings, as well as internally we'll choose the features also. Now client is looking for only these two features, for example, then we'll choose the offering first, workforce deployment, then we'll choose the features, global HR and payroll, then we'll start implementing the project. Now we are going to discuss how to create one implementation project with these two features. Okay. Later we can add one by one. If at all we would like to add all these things now itself, we can add, no problem. Okay. So let me go to the manage implementation project. Go to the option called manage implementation project. This manage implementation project is nothing but either we can search existing implementation project or we can create new implementation project. If we have already created any implementation project, we can search. If we have already created any implementation project, we can search and select. Then it will shows what are the offerings are available here, what are the offerings we have here, and within the offerings we'll find the features. These all are features. Sorry. Within the feature we will find task list. And then tasks. Manage elements is a task. Manage element means create the element. Manage element is nothing but create the element, like this. Okay. This is existing implementation project which I have opened called Sony Corporation. Okay. So now we are going to create our own implementation project. So how to create an implementation project? Go to manage implementation projects, create implementation project. Here system is going to ask us enter the project basic information. We can give any project name of the project. I'm going to mention MRF implementation project and to whom it has been assigned and what's the starting date and end date of this particular project. Let's say we are going to complete this project end of this year, December 31st. That is the time frame we have configured. Later we can change, we can extend. If we are not going to meet the deadlines, then we can extend. Click next button. Now the system is going to ask us what are the offerings you would like to select in this particular implementation project. Now what we have discussed in our requirement, we wanted to implement these three modules: global HR, payroll, options management, and the complete cycle of talent management. Which includes all these things. Okay. So now go to offerings here. Here we can find workforce deployment, workforce development, and workforce development offering. Whenever we select workforce deployment, here, then here we can see options management offering, and payroll, network at work, time and labor, workforce profiles, workforce lifecycle management, workforce predictions, this all. But this workforce related thing we'll discuss in core HR itself. Okay. So now whenever we go for payroll, we have US payroll, UK payroll, Chinese, Emirates, Saudi Arabian, other payroll legislations. Now I am going to select US payroll, then select payroll, then US payroll, then options management. Then I could not find anywhere here global HR, right? We have talked about global HR. I'm not able to find this global HR feature here because by default, when we choose workforce deployment or workforce development, automatically global HR will be available. We don't need to go for select global HR. That is a initial product. Obviously, it will be available. Okay. So now we have selected two modules here. One is US payroll. Another one is options management. Two modules are two features. Next, when we talk about workforce development, go to workforce development. Here we'll find goal management, questionnaires, worker performance, talent review, success and management. This will find. Let me go for talent review, which includes other, and success and management if we require, that also we can choose. Goal management is required, choose this. Like performance management, choose this. That's one. Okay. So like this, whatever offerings we are going to implement to the client, that we have to choose. In these offerings, again, what are the features client is looking for it, that also will choose. Okay. So client has to buy the licensed software or subscribe to the Oracle Cloud to implement this. Okay. So whatever the offerings client has subscribed to Oracle Cloud, will go for include those offerings in our implementation project. Okay. And click save and open the project. Now we have created implementation project successfully, and what are the offerings we have included in this project? Workforce deployment, workforce development. In this offering, we will find this is global HR. These two global HR, common HCM configuration, common applications configuration for HCM. This two comes under global HR. Then this comes as a payroll. This comes as a payroll. This is absences, nothing but absence management. This is BI reports, business intelligence reports. That comes as technical part. And whenever we go to workforce development, workforce development, we'll find again global HR. So when we choose either workforce deployment offering or workforce development offering, we'll find global HR is a common feature available. Global HR is a common feature available. Then additionally, whatever the features we want to implement to the client, that will keep it in the implementation project. So now when we choose this offering, talent review is a feature. Within this, define talent review settings is a task list, and within this we have the tasks. These all are tasks. Okay, so workforce development is offering, talent review is a feature, define talent review settings is a task list. These all are tasks. These all are tasks. Okay, so one task is nothing but a one form. One task is nothing but a one form here. Here one task is nothing but one form. Whenever we group the tasks which are related, then it will become as a task list. Then it becomes as a task list. Then group of task list is nothing but a features. Then group of task list is nothing but a features. Group of features is nothing but a offerings. Group of features is nothing but a offerings. Okay. So this is about implementation project. This is about implementation project. So the first task which we will do in Oracle Fusion applications is we will be creating an implementation project. Okay. How to create an implementation project is, first we have to connect to the applications. I'm going to log out from the current user. Log out. And again log in with this username and password. Click sign in button. Go to username. Go to username. Setup and maintenance. Setup and maintenance. And go to manage implementation project. In getting started, we'll find what are the offerings are available in the current cloud or current environment, either in the cloud or in our own server. Okay. Then go to manage implementation project to group the offerings whatever we would like to do it. Now here we can see the implementation project which we have created just now, created by the current user. We said start date and finish date, which is updated by this date and this user. Okay. So whenever we check this option, it will show automatically what are the offerings are selected. Within that offerings, what are the features are selected. Within that features, what are the task lists are available. Within that task lists, what are the tasks are available. This all we will find here. Okay. So this is about implementation project. We will call it as an implementation project. So whenever we are working in the project, first step what we'll do is an implementation project creation. Create an implementation project. Okay. So if we go to implementation project tab, we will come to know what are the projects are created by current user. What are the projects are created by current user. Here is our project. Select. When we select the project, here itself will find what is the project status. As a project manager, I can identify what is the status of the project. Okay. In MRF implementation project, total 558 tasks are there. Nothing but 558 setups has to be completed to implement successfully to the client. 558 tasks are nothing but a 558 functional setups we have to complete. Okay. And what is the current project status? I can easily drag here, and weekly I can identify the project status and what are the tasks are completed, what are the tasks are submitted, what are the tasks are completed with errors, completed with warnings. This all we can find. Still we have not started working with the project. We have just created an implementation project. Still we have not started the project execution. Okay. So any doubts here in implementation project and offerings and features, task list, task, how to create and how to assign to the users? Good. Okay. Now we are going for assigning this task to the users. Select the implementation project. Okay. So once we select the implementation project, we'll find the offerings and then we'll find the features. Then we will find the tasks. Then we'll find the task list. Then we'll find the tasks. Then we'll find the tasks here. Okay. So whenever we say manage bank, nothing but a create bank branches, create bank accounts. 3 tasks are there. Now I would like to assign this task to one of our team member. So as a project manager, I have created an implementation project. How many tasks are there in this implementation project? More than 500 tasks are there. I would like to assign this task to my team members so that they can complete all these tasks. Okay. So select the task, assign this task to the team member. Click assign tasks button, click assign task button, and we will assign this task to the users. We can assign this task to the users. Okay. Click this, search for the user ID, search for the user ID and choose done. Now what we have done, we have assigned this manage bank task to the user called RTL Durga. So she has to complete this task, and manage branches has to be completed by another user. So select the task, assign this task to the team members. Select the username, done. Okay. Like this we can go for assign. We can assign the same task to the multiple users also. We can assign the same task to the multiple users also. We can assign the same task to the multiple users. 2 members has to complete this task, and we can configure what is the due date also. Assign the same due date to all users. If you check this checkbox, we can configure different due dates here. Different due dates for the different users. Okay. and whenever users start working on this, they can set the status. Now we have assigned this task to multiple users. We have assigned this task to the multiple users. Whenever employee is going to start the work, they'll go for edit the status. They will set the status in progress or completed, execution frozen, completed with errors. Okay, like this we will go for configure and save and close. Okay, now like this we will configure the process. So this is how to assign the task to the team members, and then how the team members will change the status and start working with the tasks. Okay, so these are different tasks we'll be assigning here. Okay, so in the implementation who will create in the real-time implementation project? Project leader or project manager is going to create an implementation project, and he will be assigning the tasks to the users. Now user has to complete all the tasks. Whatever the tasks we have assigned. Users are nothing but a functional consultants who are working, that we have to complete here. Click done button. Now you can see the implementation project which we have created, MRF project, right? You can search for the project also here. Yes, we can modify the due dates at any time. Yes, Navya, when the due dates are going to be extended, that we can do it. Now depends on the requirement, we can extend the due date. If the due date is over, obviously we'll get a notification. This particular task has to be completed within this date, but still is not done by the particular user. So then obviously manager will take a decision against that particular. Yes. Okay. Now we can see here the implementation project is having more than 500 tasks. Out of that, we have assigned 5 tasks to the users. Okay. So we have assigned 5 tasks to the users here. And this is due dates and all, and what is the project status. Okay. So in here itself we can find what is the project status and where we are, what are the tasks are completed, what are the tasks are to be completed. This all we will find here. Okay. Fine. Now this particular environment, we call it as a FSM also. Functional Setup Manager. FSM, Functional Setup Manager. So what is FSM? Functional Setup Manager. So the complete functional setups we are going to do from this environment, from setups and maintenance environment. Okay. So from here itself we are going to do all functional setups. This we call it as a Functional Setup Manager, FSM. Okay. So this is how we can go for creation of an implementation project. So you can go through this, and whenever we start up with